Welcome back, deep divers. Today, we're going deep, really deep.
Into the Kabalah.
Yeah, we're cracking open an introduction to the study of the Kabalah.
By Wynn Westcott.
Exactly, that's our guide for this deep dive. A lot of you have asked about the core concepts of Kabalah.
Oh, yeah.
And we hear you. We're going to try to navigate this complex world.
This intricate world.
Yeah, intricate world's a good way to put it. Intricate world of Jewish mysticism. But I'm telling you right now, get ready.
Yeah.
To have your understanding of reality challenged.
Prepare to be challenged.
Yeah, be prepared.
The Kabalah does not shy away from the big questions.
No, it does not. Like, what? Give me an example.
It sees the entire universe as God manifested.
Whoa, okay.
It proposes that we might live multiple lives.
Multiple lives, okay.
And it offers a whole new way to interpret ancient scriptures.
All right, so before we journey into those cosmic realms, let's ground ourselves a bit.
Okay.
Where did this Kabalah thing even come from?
Well, that's part of the mystique, isn't it?
Is it?
The exact origins are a bit of a puzzle.
Okay.
But Westcott, he points to some compelling evidence.
Okay.
It seems the Kabalah's roots, they likely trace back to Hebrew rabbis around the time of the Second Temple.
So when was that? About what year we're talking?
We're talking putting it at around 515 BC.
So right when the Jewish people were rebuilding after exile in Babylon.
Exactly.
I mean, that's got to be a period, right? That's got to be just
it is
ripe for spiritual reflection.
It is. Imagine that context, returning to your homeland after generations.
Wow, yeah.
Reconstructing your sacred spaces and grappling with what it means to be God's chosen people in a changed world.
Yeah, that's a huge weight on your shoulders.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it really doesn't make you wonder, like, did the Kabalah emerge as a way to make sense of that really tumultuous period?
Right.
To find, like, deeper meaning in their faith?
That's a very insightful connection.
Is it?
It is.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
And here's what adds to the mystique.
Oh, what is that?
The Kabalah, initially, was an oral tradition.
Oh.
So imagine this.
It wasn't written down.
Imagine this mystical knowledge being whispered from teacher to student for centuries before it was ever put to paper.
Wow, that's like a secret lineage of wisdom.
It is.
Talk about guarding sacred knowledge.
Guarding sacred knowledge really is. And speaking of those written records, there are two key texts that eventually surface.
Okay, what are they?
The Sefer Yetzirah.
Okay.
Or Book of Formation.
Book of Formation, okay.
And the Zohar, meaning splendor.
The Zohar, I've definitely heard of that. Sefer Yetzirah, not so much.
Right.
What are the main differences?
Well, both are foundational to Kabbalistic thought.
Okay.
But each offers a different lens, you know?
Yeah.
So the Sefer Yetzirah attributed to Abraham.
Abraham, okay.
It's a compact yet profound text.
Okay.
That lays out the building blocks of creation.
Building blocks of creation.
Think of it as a cosmic blueprint.
Right.
Exploring the connection between letters, numbers, and divine energy. Okay. It's a text that emphasizes the creative power of language.
Oh.
And the idea that God literally spoke the universe into existence.
So it's almost like a divine code where each letter holds a key to unlocking the secrets of creation.
Exactly. And then you have the Zohar, which bursts onto the scene centuries later.
Okay.
Attributed to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the 2nd century AD.
Whoa, okay, so that's a big difference in time there.
It is this multi-volume work. It's more expansive, delving into mystical interpretations of the Torah.
Okay.
And exploring profound concepts like reincarnation, the nature of God, and the interplay of divine energies in our world.
So if the Sefer Yetzirah is the blueprint, the Zohar is like the user manual for navigating this cosmic reality.
A brilliant analogy.
Okay.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Westcott highlights the fact that these texts, especially the Zohar,
weren't
weren't without controversy.
What kind of controversy were we talking about?
Now, were people skeptical of their authenticity?
Oh, okay. So they were questioning whether it was really written by the people they said it was written by.
Exactly. The Zohar's late appearance.
Yeah.
It raised questions about its true authorship.
Right.
And historical accuracy.
Right. Because if it's appearing much later.
Exactly.
Then when they say it was written, then that throws up some red flags.
Exactly.
Okay.
Scholars debated whether it was truly a 2nd century text,
right,
or later work attributed to Rabbi Shimon.
Oh, okay.
This debate continues even today.
Wow, Rick.
Adding another layer of intrigue.
Yeah.
To the study of Kabbalah.
So it's like we're dealing with a tradition.
It is.
Built on layers of mystery.
Yes.
And interpretation, which I guess
it is.
Yeah, makes sense given its mystical nature.
Exactly.
But within all that complexity,
yeah.
Are there any unifying threads that connect these different strands of Kabbalistic thought?
There are indeed. One of the most fundamental is the idea that the Kabbalah can be divided into 2 main branches.
What are they?
Practical Kabalah.
Okay.
And dogmatic Kabalah.
Okay, practical and dogmatic. Let's unpack those. What's the difference between the two?
Well, as the name suggests, practical Kabalah focuses on the more hands-on applications.
Okay, so the practical stuff.
The practical stuff of Kabbalistic knowledge.
Right.
This is where you encounter practices like gematria.
Gematria, Notera,
and Tamura. Okay, and what are those?
These are techniques used to decode hidden meanings.
Okay.
In the Hebrew scriptures.
Oh, okay.
And to understand the mystical properties. All right. Of letters, numbers, and divine names.
So it's like they had a whole toolbox of techniques for interacting with the divine on a practical level.
On a practical level, exactly.
Okay. What would be an example of how gematria, the number letter connection, was used?
One example Westcott mentions is the concept of Kavanah.
Okay.
Which means intention.
Intention. Okay.
Kabbalists believed that by understanding the numerical value of Hebrew words and phrases, they could infuse their prayers and rituals with greater intention and power.
So it's not just about reciting words.
It's not.
But about aligning your consciousness with the deeper meaning embedded within those words.
Exactly.
Okay. And now on the other side of the spectrum, you have dogmatic Kabbalah,
which delves into the more philosophical and theological dimensions of the tradition. Yeah. Okay. So what kinds of things does that cover?
This branch explores concepts like the nature of God, the emanation of the universe, the role of angels, the journey of the soul, and the ultimate goal of spiritual reunion with the divine.
So it's like practical Kabbalah is about working with the tools.
It is.
While dogmatic Kabbalah is about understanding the blueprint of reality itself.
A brilliant way to put it.
Okay, good.
And while they might seem distinct, these 2 branches are ultimately intertwined.
They are.
They both stem from the same core principles.
Okay.
And offer complementary perspectives on the mysteries of creation and the human experience.
So this is giving me a sense that the Kabbalah is more than just a system of beliefs.
It is.
It's a way of life.
Yeah.
It's a path to understanding ourselves.
Yes.
And our place in the universe.
Yes.
On a much deeper level.
That's a profound insight.
Is it?
And one that I think lies at the heart of what the Kabbalah has to offer. It's not just about accumulating knowledge, but about transforming ourselves and our relationship with the divine.
And that transformation starts with challenging our assumptions.
Absolutely.
Right. Even though about text.
Yeah.
We might think we already understand.
Absolutely. In fact, Westcott points out the Kabbalah offers a very different perspective on the Old Testament than the traditional interpretation. Really, he argues that the Old Testament, while full of wisdom, lacks a clear emphasis on the afterlife.
Interesting. Okay, so where does the Kabbalah fill in the gaps?
Well, Westcott highlights that the Kabbalah offers a much more spiritual lens through which to understand the Hebrew scriptures. It suggests that there's a deeper meaning woven into those ancient stories. A meaning that points to the immortality of the soul. The journey of reincarnation. And the ultimate goal of returning to the divine source.
This materialist view of the Old Testament, it makes me wonder. Like how did the Kabbalah
It's a good question.
reconcile these seemingly contradictory perspectives?
That's a fantastic question.
Is it?
And one that we'll explore further as we delve deeper into the Kabbalah's unique cosmology and its understanding of the soul's journey.
Okay, so we'll get to that later.
Yes, we will.
But before we do, let's take a closer look at the Kabbalah's most central and perhaps most challenging concept. The idea of God as the
Ein Sof.
The Ein Sof, the limitless, unknowable source of everything. All right, I'm ready to get my mind bent.
All right.
Let's dive into the depths.
The Ein Sof, it's a concept that stretches the limits of human comprehension.
I can imagine.
Imagine, if you will, a boundless, eternal, and utterly transcendent source of all existence. It's beyond form, beyond attributes, beyond even our concept of being.
Okay, I'm already feeling a bit dizzy. How can we even begin to grasp something so vast and inconceivable?
That's the paradox, isn't it?
Is it?
The Kabbalah acknowledges that the Ein Sof is ultimately beyond our grasp. But it also provides a framework for understanding how this limitless source manifests itself in the universe we experience.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this framework.
Well, the Kabbalah teaches that creation is a process of emanation. Cascading down of divine energy from the Ein Sof into the world of form. And those stages of emanation are represented by the 10 Sephiroth.
Ah, yes, the Sephiroth. Those divine emanations. We hear so much about in Kabbalistic teachings.
Exactly. Think of them as the primary attributes or qualities of the Ein Sof, the building blocks of reality itself.
So it's like the Ein Sof is this blindingly bright light. And the Sephiroth are the prisms that refract that light. Into the myriad colors and forms of our world.
A beautiful, beautiful analogy.
It is.
It is. Each Sephira represents a distinct aspect of divine energy. From Keter, the crown, representing pure consciousness and will, to Malkuth, the kingdom, representing the material world we inhabit.
I remember seeing those depicted in the Tree of Life diagram. Is that a literal map, or is it more of a symbolic representation?
It's both, really.
It's both.
On one level, it's a symbolic map of the universe, showing the flow of divine energy from the highest realms down to our earthly plane. But the Kabbalah also teaches that this structure isn't just out there in the cosmos. It's mirrored within each of us.
So we are microcosms of the macrocosm.
Precisely.
Like miniature versions of the Tree of Life.
Precisely. We have within us the potential to access and experience all of these different levels of reality. And that brings us to the concept of the four worlds.
The four worlds. Absoluth, Braya, Yetzirah, and Asaya. Right.
You
got it.
Each world represents a different level of emanation.
Okay.
A step further away from the pure, undifferentiated unity of the Ein Sof.
All right. Okay. And how do these worlds relate to our experience as human beings?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
Atziluth, the world of emanation, is the realm of pure divine light, closest to the Ein Sof.
So it's like the source code of reality, the blueprint from which everything else is derived.
Exactly. And then you have Braya, the world of creation, where those archetypes begin to take form.
Okay.
It's the realm of archangels.
Okay.
Pure intellect and divine creativity.
So it's like the architect studio where the grand design of the universe is being crafted.
Precisely.
Okay.
Next we move to to Yetzirah.
Yetzirah.
The world formation.
World of formation.
Okay. Where those forms become more concrete and differentiated.
Okay.
This is the realm of angels. Emotions and the forces of nature.
So it's like the workshop where the raw materials of creation are
perfect. Perfect analogy.
Shaped and molded.
No. And finally, we arrive at Asaya. The world of action, the physical world.
Wrong. So in a sense, Asaya is the furthest point from the source.
Yeah, exactly.
The densest expression of divine energy.
Exactly. And yet even here, in this seemingly material world, the Kabalah teaches that we're not separate from the divine.
We're not.
We carry within us a spark of that original light.
Okay.
A potential for spiritual awakening and reunion with the Ein Sof.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
But if we're all sparks of the divine, why are we here in this dense material world?
It's a good question.
In the first place.
It is.
What's the purpose of our existence in Asaya?
That's where the Kabalah introduces the intriguing concept of reincarnation.
Reincarnation. Okay.
The idea that our souls journey through multiple lifetimes, evolving and refining themselves through a series of incarnations.
So each lifetime is like a chapter in the grand story.
It is
of our soul's journey back to the divine.
Precisely. And just as a book has its heroes, its villains, its moments of triumph and despair.
Yeah.
So too does the soul's journey through Asaya involve challenges, obstacles, and opportunities for growth.
This makes those coats of skin Westcott mentioned take on a whole new meaning.
It does.
It's not just about Adam and Eve being clothed in physical bodies.
Right.
It's about our souls being veiled in a sense.
Yes, it is.
As they descend into the material realm.
That's a very insightful observation.
Is it?
It is. The Kabalah suggests that this descent into matter is not a punishment, but a necessary stage in the soul's evolution.
Right.
It's through our experiences in Asaya that we learn, grow, and refine our understanding of ourselves and the divine.
Okay, but if we're all on this journey back to the divine, why does it seem like some people are more spiritually aware?
Good question.
Than others?
It is.
Some seem to be stumbling in the dark.
Yeah.
While others are radiating light.
That's where the concept of the Yetzer HaTov and the Yetzer Hara.
Yetzer HaTov, Yetzer Hara
comes in.
Okay.
These are often translated as the good inclination and the evil inclination.
Right.
But the Kabalah offers a more nuanced understanding.
So it's not about being good or bad in a moralistic sense.
No, not quite. Okay. The Yetzer HaTov is associated with our higher nature, our drive toward connection. Compassion and unity with the divine.
The
Yetzer Hara. On the other hand, represents our more ego-driven impulses, our desires for separation, self-gratification, and material possessions.
So it's like an internal tug of war between our spiritual aspirations and our more earthly desires.
Exactly. The Kabbalah teaches that both impulses
both are necessary.
Both are necessary for our growth. Okay. The Yetzer Hara, while often seen as negative, provides the friction, the challenges that help us to develop our spiritual muscles. Okay. It's through overcoming those challenges that we strengthen our connection to the Yetzer Hatov. Okay. And move closer to the divine.
It's like saying that without darkness.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be able to appreciate the light without challenges. We wouldn't be able to grow and evolve.
That's a brilliant way to put it.
Is it?
It is. And the Kabbalah provides tools and techniques for navigating this inner landscape for strengthening our connection to the Yetzer Hatov and aligning ourselves with the flow of divine energy.
Okay, but how do we actually do that?
Right.
What are some of the practices or techniques that the Kabalah offers?
That's where we circle back to those fascinating techniques we mentioned earlier.
Okay, which were
gematria, notarikon, and Temura.
Right.
Remember, these aren't just about decoding hidden meanings. They're also about engaging with the power of language, the building blocks of creation on a deeper level.
So by working with the Hebrew letters and their numerical values, we can tap into those deeper currents of energy and consciousness.
Precisely.
Okay.
And there's more.
There's more. Okay.
The Kabbalah emphasizes meditation, prayer, contemplation of the tree of life. Okay. And study of the sacred texts. Okay. As ways to purify our thoughts. Okay. Cultivate spiritual awareness and connect with the divine.
It's like the Kabbalah is offering a whole toolbox for spiritual transformation.
It is.
A way to refine our inner landscape and align ourselves with the flow of divine energy.
Exactly. And those tools aren't just for personal growth. Yeah. They also empower us to contribute to the healing and transformation of the world around us. Right. Remember, we're all interconnected, and every step we take toward spiritual awareness ripples out into the collective consciousness.
So it's like we're not just on a personal journey, but on a collective mission.
Yes.
To elevate consciousness.
Yes.
And bring about a more harmonious and enlightened world.
That's a powerful way to frame it.
Is it?
But before we get too carried away with those grand visions, let's bring it back to the individual experience. Westcott spends quite a bit of time exploring how the Kabalah understands the human soul.
All right, let's dive into those inner depths.
All right.
What can you tell us about the Kabbalistic view of the soul? So we're diving into the soul now. This should be interesting.
It really is. The Kabbalah offers a rich and complex understanding of the soul. It's not just a single monolithic entity, but rather a composite of different aspects or levels of consciousness.
Okay, break that down for me. What are these different aspects of the soul?
Well, Westcott mentions three primary components. Okay. The nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama.
Those sound familiar? Are these like the ego and superego in Freudian psychology?
There are some interesting parallels there. Okay. But the Kabbalah frames it in a more spiritual context.
Okay, so how do they describe it?
The nefesh is considered the most basic level of the soul, associated with our instincts, our physical drives, and connection to the material world. Okay, it's what animates our bodies and keeps us grounded in the here and now.
So it's like the animal soul, the part of us that shares a commonality with all living creatures.
Exactly. Then you have the ruach. Often translated as spirit or wind. Okay. This is the level of the soul associated with our intellect, our emotions, our personality and moral compass. It's the part of us that strives for meaning, for purpose, and connection beyond the purely physical realm.
So the ruach is what makes us uniquely human.
Yes.
Our sense of self and our ability to make choices based on values and principles.
Precisely. And finally, you have the neshama, the highest level of the soul, often translated as breath or soul in its purest sense. This is the part of us that yearns for union with the divine, the spark of God within us that connects us back to to the source of all being.
So the neshama is like our direct line.
Yes, it is.
To the Ein Sof.
Yes.
The part of us that never truly forgets its divine origin.
Beautifully put.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Now the Kabalah teaches that these different aspects of the soul are interconnected and influence each other.
Right. They are.
They're not separate entities.
They're not.
But rather different facets.
Yes.
Of a single multifaceted gem.
A beautiful way to put it.
Is it? Okay. I'm starting to see how this connects back to the concept of reincarnation.
Yes.
If the soul is on a journey of evolution, are these different aspects refined through multiple lifetimes?
That's exactly right. Each lifetime offers opportunities for the soul to purify and refine each of these levels, to integrate them more harmoniously, and to ultimately achieve a state of wholeness and unity with the divine.
Okay, but what happens to the soul after death? Does it just jump into another body?
It's a good question.
And start a new life?
That's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
The Kabalah offers a detailed description of the soul's journey after death. It's not a simple matter of heaven or hell, but rather a process of purification and refinement that can involve multiple stages and realms of experience.
This is making me think of those seven hells that Westcott mentioned.
Right.
Are those literal places of torment?
Not in the way that we might imagine. The Kabalah sees those realms as more like spiritual purgatories, places where the soul can confront its unresolved issues, release its attachments to negativity, and prepare for its next incarnation.
So even those who have strayed from the path of righteousness have the opportunity for redemption and growth in the afterlife.
Exactly. The Kabalah emphasizes the idea that God's love and compassion extend to all beings. And that even the most fallen souls have the potential to return to wholeness.
That's a comforting thought.
It is.
But what about those who have achieved a high level of spiritual development in their lifetime?
Yes.
What happens to their souls after death?
The Kabalah teaches that such souls may ascend to higher spiritual realms, closer to the divine source. They may become guides and teachers for others, or they may choose to reincarnate. To help humanity evolve.
So it's like graduation to a higher grade level.
Yeah.
Or maybe a cosmic sabbatical to recharge.
Yes.
And then come back with even more wisdom and compassion.
Those are great ways to think about it. But the point is, the soul's journey doesn't end with physical death. It continues to unfold in ways that are beyond our current comprehension.
This is really expanding my understanding of what it means to be human. It's like we're not just individuals, but part of this vast interconnected web of souls all on a journey back to the divine.
And within that web, our actions have ripple effects.
They do.
What we do, how we live, and the choices we make have an impact not only on our own souls, but also on the collective consciousness.
So it's like we have a responsibility to live in a way that contributes to the healing and evolution of humanity as a whole.
Precisely. And the Kabalah provides us with a framework for understanding that responsibility and for making choices that align with our highest purpose.
This brings us back to the concept of the Messianic age,
right?
That future time of peace and harmony that Westcott mentioned.
Right.
Is this something that will just happen on its own? Or,
it's a key question.
Or do we have a role to play?
It is
in bringing it about.
The Kabalah suggests that the Messianic age is not a passive event, but rather a culmination of humanity's spiritual evolution.
So we have to work towards it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a time when we will have collectively transcended our ego-driven impulses, embraced our interconnectedness, and aligned ourselves with the divine will.
So it's not about waiting for a savior to come and fix everything.
It's not.
It's about each of us doing our part.
It is.
To create a more just and compassionate world.
Exactly. The Kabalah empowers us to see ourselves as potential messiahs, each capable of bringing light and healing into the world through our actions, our words, and our very being.
Wow, that's an incredibly empowering concept.
It is.
It's like the Kabalah saying that we're not just passive observers in this cosmic drama.
Right.
We're active participants in the unfolding of a more beautiful and just reality.
And that's what makes this tradition so relevant.
Yeah.
Even today, it's not just about ancient texts and mystical concepts.
Right.
It's about living a life of purpose, of meaning, and connection.
Right.
It's about recognizing the divine spark within ourselves and within all beings, and striving to create a world that reflects that divine light.
This deep dive has been truly mind expanding.
That has.
I'm walking away with a whole new perspective on life, the universe and everything.
Right.
And I'm definitely feeling inspired to learn more about the Kabalah.
I encourage you
and to incorporate its wisdom into my own life.
It's a journey that can continue for a lifetime.
Right.
And I encourage you to keep exploring. There are countless resources available, books, courses, teachers, to guide you deeper into this fascinating and transformative tradition.
And who knows, maybe along the way you'll discover that
maybe you will.
The Kabalah is not just a system of knowledge,
right?
But a path back to your own true self, the divine spark that resides within you.
And that's a journey worth taking, isn't it?
It is.
So until next time, keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into the mysteries of life.
See you next time, deep divers.